I think that we have everybody here for now. If we want to actually get started with the presentation, I'm Lee. I'm here in the volunteer office at Altman, and I have Lori Edmunds here. She is an RN in the Alt Care Wellness Program, and today she'll be talking about healthy lunches and snacks. So welcome, Lori, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here today, and thanks for having me. I will also say in preparing this presentation, I had actually our care dietitian in our wellness department, Joy Benjamin, was right there with me in preparing this. So as a nurse, I'm presenting it to you, but I wanted you to know that we're very much backed up with a dietitian looking at all of these recommendations. And we too, I mean, this is just packed with full of ideas. So if you want me to send you this PowerPoint or get your pencil and paper to jot things down, I'll probably be going through some of the slides quickly. And so if you want the PowerPoint sent to you, you can email me or again, Joy or Lee, and they can contact me and we can I'll send the presentation to you. So it's just ledmonds@altcare.com. All right. So with that said, a survey was out here with Americans that we overall, and this is great news, that we do, most of us do now desire to eat more healthily. So after reading that and reading some statistics, I decided to focus on lunch. And let me go through some of these statistics. I'm sorry if I'm reading my notes a bit here, but I'm going to read these quickly, which made me think, oh yeah, lunch would be a good thing to focus on. So according to a survey of the New York Times, about 44% of people eat fast food for lunch. McDonald's, I believe, is still number one, as what I read in the fast food industry. The age group of 16 to 24-year-olds are the ones that spend the most money on fast food. Burgers are still the number one most popular fast food that is ordered. The lunch is actually the busiest time for fast food restaurants. The surveys say the meal that's most often eaten at fast food restaurants is lunch. The average person spends close to $1,200 per year on fast food. So, and fast food for lunches. The problem with fast food, as we all know, it's often less healthy, processed food, higher in sodium, fat, calories, lower in nutrients than most of any other options that you would make at home. So we decided to go for it with lunch, and I agree with you all that it can sometimes get kind of dull. So we're packed full of ideas here. Now, why is it not letting me progress? My little arrows were coming up before at the bottom. There it is. All right. So it seems as if lunch is a meal that's typically not so planned as we get busy. If we wait until we're hungry, oftentimes there's nothing available because it's not planned. So we're not always so likely to make a good decision if we wait until we're hungry to decide what we're going to eat. And that pretty much applies to all meals, right? If we have nothing available, we often make less healthy decisions. We want something quick, we want something easy. Our bellies are hungry, so we're craving more of the carbohydrates or the sugary foods too. So when we wait till we're too hungry to eat, it's oftentimes to make the decision. It's oftentimes not the best decision. So the key to being healthy with our meals is planning. Planning is a huge tip. And as I said before, we're going to be packed full of lunch tips here for you today. So, let's see here. If you are struggling with ideas, you're not alone, okay? it seems like 75% of the people say they're more likely to make healthier decisions at the other times of the day if they eat a healthy lunch also. So why not just skip it? Well, here's some reasons why not just to skip lunch. It can and leave the body depleted of some vital nutrients. Um, skipping lunch may eating a balanced lunch is vital to keeping necessary hormones in balance, and especially the insulin, which regulates our blood sugar. A healthy lunch gives us energy, nutrients to keep the body and brain working throughout the afternoon. And we all are familiar with those afternoon slumps. So this is an important meal to have to keep us going through the afternoon. Eating lunch also provides us a physical and mental break from the workday. If you're in the workforce, it gives you a nice break, a nice time to just reset. So hunger, yeah, I mean, I could spend a whole hour just talking about hunger and hunger signals. But just to remind us, especially when we're all trying to manage our weight and be at a healthy weight, to how important it is to just get in touch with your body, recognize what is real hunger and what is I just want something in my mouth type of hunger. So the body does send us hunger signals when it needs food, and it could be different. Some of us get the belly growls. Some of us do start to feel our energy drop down. But oftentimes we feel like we're hungry because we see the food, or we get hungry with our eyes, or we get hungry because we're looking for a little stress relief or a break. But so stay in tune and in touch with your hunger signals. And when we feel hungry, we should eat. And we should eat until we feel satisfied. But that's a good thing to take with you now to try to, if you have not done a lot of mindful eating and paying attention to those hunger signals, they can really be helpful. Our body knows what we need, and it sends us those signals if we pay attention to them. If you're truly not feeling hungry at lunchtime, then try just something small. We don't need to have a big lunch. Most of us do not need a large meal at lunchtime, especially if we have a sedentary job or if we're not that active during the day. So you can call it a midday snack if you wish. Instead of calling it lunch, we can call it whatever it is. But eating a well-balanced lunch or small midday snack just can help us avoid the cravings then later in the day. So then, let's say at lunchtime we're not feeling it, we skip it, then we start to get little craving here an hour or two before dinner time. Then again, maybe not planned, grabbing something not as healthy. Also be in touch with your hydration. Am I just thirsty? Be sure to adequately hydrate with water throughout the morning, especially again if we're eating or if we're drinking coffee, for drinking caffeinated beverages. Do try to first try to answer those hunger signals with some water. Make sure that we're properly hydrated. The number one reason that I have heard is that's responsible for the sluggishness in the afternoon is dehydration. So make sure that you're getting plenty of water throughout the day, and dehydration can skew those hunger signals quite a bit. So pack your lunch, or again, if we're retirees and we don't have to take off to work in the day, it's still no reason why you cannot plan those lunches on the weekend or ahead of time and get them all ready for the week. So they're ready to grab and go. The decision is already made. It's made and ready to go, and then you can try to, and that can help ward off making unhealthier decisions or grabbing something that's not so healthy, skipping your lunch, wait until the your energy drops, and then trying to grab something else that's more sugary or processed. Someone is not on mute, so could you all check to make sure that you're muted, because I'm getting lots of background noise if you check. By packing your lunch, you're in control. You're in control. You can make conscious and well thought out choices. It not only saves you time, definitely saves you money. You've already heard how much we can spend a year when we stop and pick things up. And packing your lunch controls calories, you can control your sugar, you can control your sodium, your fat, and your additives and preservatives. Healthy eating starts at the grocery store. Again, this is for all your meals. If it's in the house, we're going to eat it. If it's not in the house, we're not going to eat it. Maybe it's time to root through that snack drawer, root through that snack cabinet, especially again, if we're retirees. I know the kids like their little kid snacks, which should be on the healthier side also, but we don't need the potato chips in the cupboard, do we? Who needs potato chips, right? There's healthier options that you can make. So think about going through those cabinets. Think about before you go to the grocery store. This does not have those things in our house. Indulge in them when we're out and about. Indulge in them when we're at parties. But we don't need to have them in our house for every day. So make that grocery list. Buy items that are easy for packing. If you're busy, like everybody seems to be busy these days, keep it simple. There's so many things that are pre-cut, pre-washed, ready to eat, especially your fruits and veggies. Your single serving bags, they even have apples that are already cut and peeled and put in single serving bags for you to make it quick and convenient. Yogurt, string cheese, pre-cooked chicken. Those rotisserie chickens are fantastic for quick and easy meals. Cottage cheese singles, tuna singles they have now, whole wheat breads, pitas, wraps, and thins. Pre-cooked quinoa and rice bowls are good. You could cook a big batch of that. Give yourself, we'll talk about the bento boxes here in a minute. Start loading it up with the rice and then put your toppings on it, and it's all ready to go for the week. Healthy foods are canned beans or beans, period, cooked lentils, and pre-made salad kits are also good options. Take advantage of what's in season when you're buying your produce, because you're going to get a better price and you're going to get tastier produce. Okay, so purchase a bento box. This is kind of fun, and actually I did one for a salad. They have these cute little salad containers where you put your lettuce on the bottom and your toppings, and you can pack them for a week for less than $10. Even quite less than that, you can load up on these bento boxes. It makes packing lunch fun. It makes eating lunch fun, and they're good because they're sectioned off, so you can use them to balance your lunch. So remember, following that My Plate guideline, you can make half of the bento box with fruits and vegetables. Again, when going to the grocery store, remember, okay, I'm going to buy, 7 apples, and that's going to be my lunch this week, or I'm going to buy 2 oranges and 5 apples and 2 bananas or strawberries or grapes for my lunches. Include that on your grocery list as you think ahead of time. A quarter of your bento box or your lunch plate should be the protein, and a quarter of it would be starch, and then you also want to include a healthy fat. And we'll give you some examples of that. So here's some bento box ideas. Again, for those of you looking for variety, snap peas, great to munch on during the lunchtime. Carrots, parsnips, radishes, cucumber slices, melon pieces, orange slices, and berries, grapes are all good ideas. Salad ideas. If you have a little bento box that is for salads, that's always fun to fill it with mixed greens, and then your toppings can be black beans, corn, and salsa, or artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and broccoli. Hummus. Joy, I know I told one of my wellness participants to use hummus as a salad dressing, and he was amazed that it is actually quite good. So give it a try. Sunflower seeds, cucumbers, and tomatoes. Nuts and seeds are great. This is a great time to sprinkle those nuts and seeds on things also. So healthy, good for your cholesterol too. goat cheese, beets, and walnuts on top of some greens. This can be, I mean, I got onto this Big Mac salad because I've been eating a lot of salads. So a Big Mac salad, you get some lean ground beef, just a tad, and you put it over some greens, and you put in your pickles and your tomatoes, and you could sprinkle some cheese on there, and you get a healthier choice of a Thousand Island dressing. I like this G Hughes. This is a lower carb, lower sugar dressing, Thousand Island dressing, and with a little bit of imagination, but it's really pretty good. Tastes just like a Big Mac. Okay, so when you're thinking about your protein, when you want to balance your lunch, it should include some protein, the rotisserie chicken, leftover dinner. Leftover dinner is a great lunch because mostly our dinners are more balanced. Cheese, nuts, tuna, chickpeas, hard-boiled eggs, deviled eggs, natural jerky, yogurt, quinoa, and lentils are good sources of protein. So we have here some animal proteins and also some plant proteins, and mix it up a little bit. Here's some ideas for healthy fats. Some tasty toppings with guacamole, a buffalo sauce, yogurt ranch. This Bold Health Farms has a good yogurt ranch, either an avocado or a ranch salad dressing, which is pretty healthy choice. Mustard, hummus, any vinaigrette, balsamic vinaigrette dressings, citrus, which is maybe like lemon and oil and olive oil, or adding some avocado. So our meal should contain the protein and fat. And then serving a little bit of starch or healthy carbohydrates. So read those labels on your crackers, the nuts in crackers, the crackers that are made from nuts, whole grain, 100% whole grain, whole wheat or whole grain wraps, or bread. I do like that Dave's bread seems to have lots of nuts and seeds in it. Dried beans, lentils are also a starch or a carbohydrate. Your brown rice or wild rice, granola. You can get some. Make sure your yogurt is lower in sugar. Just the plain Greek yogurt. You can add some granola in it, which will also be like a healthy carbohydrate. The ancient grains, expand those palettes. Try things like millet or farro, quinoa, sweet or white potatoes, yams or winter squash, cooked brown rice noodles, and or rice cakes. Depending on whether you're going to have a warm lunch or a cold lunch this time of year, if we're home or access to microwaves, a nice warm lunch sounds kind of good. So this is how to mixing up, again, more ideas. A whole grain chicken wrap with cheese, pepper slices, lettuce, and then add an apple. So this, again, these suggestions have all the ingredients that should be included in your healthy lunch. Leftover quinoa or brown rice makes a salad by adding chopped veggies, tomato, cucumber, broccoli, cauliflower, and topping it with dressing. Pasta salad made with rice noodles, broccoli, and peanuts. You can make your own little Asian salad. You can add some protein to it and skip the peanut theme and add some fresh squeezed citrus, olive oil, goat cheese, and some lime, cilantro, or basil to it. So make more at dinner and eat the leftovers. I always like the cook once, eat twice. That's such a time saver. It doesn't take any more time to cook a little bit more and have those leftovers. If you're packing a lunch again for family or husband or for yourself, throw on an extra chicken breast onto the grill, throw some extra steak onto the grill, and then make that chicken salad or steak salad for the next day. Tuna or egg salad sandwiches, with pita, topped with lettuce, onion, and tomato. So you can see there, we're not promoting a lot of luncheon deli meats, and I know that you are all familiar that the deli meats, they do have better choices when you're going with the lower sodium deli meats, but it's still a processed meat. So if you can just have the chicken right off the rotisserie chicken, the tuna, the egg, without it being processed. Deli meats are good on occasion, but eating a deli meat sandwich every single day, you're going to get some more processing there. Sometimes some of them contain the nitrates and also a lot of sodium in those. So we're not really talking so much about having a turkey sandwich as we used to think that was the best thing for us back in the day. Turkey sandwiches are good, just not necessarily all of the deli turkey that's available for us. And then add a sweet piece of fruit for dessert. You can build a bowl, just like they make burrito bowls, and other restaurants have these bowls. You can make your own bowl where you layer a protein, a grain, and a vegetable, and top it with a dressing or a sauce. Okay. And as I said before, most of us do cook a well-balanced dinner with a meat, a starch, and a vegetable. Many of us do that. So put the leftovers in your bento box and you're good to go for the next day. If you don't have enough, think about adding just a can or a frozen vegetable. Right, here's a recipe that our dietitian came up with a healthy avocado tuna salad recipe. Actually, they made it and we tasted it at one of my wellness groups, and it went over very well. It's quite tasty, and you can take this and you can mix it up. You know, if you don't want the cilantro, don't put in the cilantro. Put in the taste and the ingredients that you like. Healthy pasta salad recipe. Here's another one. The whole grain pasta, whole wheat spelt or brown rice, cooked and cooled, and then you add some broccoli, some cherry tomatoes, some cucumber, some onion, and the garlic sensations dressing. I know that Mark's carries that. It's a healthful dressing. I believe we've got some olive oil in it. Dietitians definitely promote using that garlic sensations as a marinade or as a topping. Okay, and then here's some just grab and go. Again, if you want more of a something quick to grab midday, maybe you eat a good breakfast and you have a good sized dinner and you want to downsize the lunch a little bit. A couple hard boiled eggs, carrots, and dip with an apple with a little bit of peanut butter are all good. As you can see with balance, you're going to see protein pretty much as the common ingredient here in each thing, and then some carbohydrate and along with it. So instead of just having an apple, have a cheese stick with your apple so that you have some protein with your carbohydrate. Body likes to process that better. It gives you more satiety than just having the carbohydrate, which digests a little bit quicker. Canned cannelli beans, tuna, celery, onion. So you can have the garbanzo beans. Those are like my favorite. Tuna, chopped celery, onion with carrot and dressing. String cheese, rice crackers, those little cutie oranges, hummus. Again, look at your fruits and veggies that are in season though. Those are going to be the most nutritious. If you can, go to farmers markets still, there's still farmers markets going on. That's where you're going to get some good quality produce. Hummus, veggies, pita chips, and cottage cheese. And eat all the fruit and veggies you want. Don't forget the protein, as I said. All right, so if you're buying lunches in the frozen foods, if you have any other options, don't choose this one. If these are your only options, it can be very tricky and you're going to get cold standing in front of that open freezer reading all the packages because you really need to go through and look at the ingredients, look at your ingredients, look at your label. But I always like to look at the ingredients. Some of them have a whole lot of ingredients. When an ingredient list is a mile long, just put it back. You're going to find these pretty high in sodium because they do need to be preserved and frozen well, and sodium is a taste enhancer. Let me give you a quick tip here real quick. When you're trying to look at your sodium, since the sodium and calories are both based on about 2,000 calories a day, if your sodium matches your calories, then it's not so bad of a source of sodium. For example, let's say, I don't know, ketchup has 15 calories, but it might have 150 grams of sodium, a lot of sodium in ketchup. Or tomato soup has 90 calories and maybe 300 grams of sodium. That's a high sodium food. But when you pick something up and it has, let's say 15 grams of sodium, and it's also 15 calories, then you're good, or if it's close to the same. So if you want to take a quick look, if the calories match the sodium, it's not a food that has too much sodium in it. It's pretty much on track. Look for whole grain options and look for, like I said, minimal ingredients, but these can be very, very tricky, and there could be some unhealthy things. But if you need a backup, if you need a last resort, go through those boxes and read those ingredients and try to make the most healthful choice. Okay, so here's where sometimes some tips: eat this, not that. Make a sandwich with a lettuce wrap and skip the bread. First, not that bread is bad, but oftentimes we know we're gonna have maybe some good whole grain rolls for dinner, and then we've had some bread for breakfast, and maybe we just don't need more carbohydrate, more bread. So skip the bread. Fresh vegetables, whole grain, or rice crackers. If you need a crunch, to skip the chips. Eat more grilled or baked dinner leftovers, meat or seafood. Skip, like I mentioned, the deli meats as much as you can. Try a baked potato topped with vegetables. Broccoli, baked potato is delicious. Salsa in a baked potato is quite delicious. Bake them ahead of time and just reheat them at lunch. Have them ready to go. Oh yeah, and skip the fries, right? Okay, drink water. Drink unsweetened flavored water instead of soda or energy drinks. Unsweet tea is a better choice also. Low fat milk, or I wouldn't say low, milk, let's just put it that way. Milk alternatives instead of coffee drinks or milkshakes. I know that dietitians don't always like us promoting low fat everything, but maybe a 2% milk that has some fat in it is not always a bad choice. Okay. So it basically skip the sodas right at lunch, the sugary drinks and sodas. If you're going to a restaurant, if you are going out to lunch, it's fun going to lunch with friends. Your favorite protein over greens is always a good choice. So what can I have over greens? You can ask for the dressing on the side, no croutons, dried fruits, or bacon to be sprinkled on the top. You can also ask what type of lettuce. I know some restaurants will just open the bag and give you the bag of iceberg, and you can ask for, do they have spinach or do they have mixed greens, which is also a good choice. Light on the cheese, please. Sometimes I've been out ordering salads and you get all toppings and just a little bit of salad on the bottom. So when I order, I make it clear, let's go lighter on the toppings and more greens in the plate. Don't always have to clean our plate because restaurant servings are also 2 to 3 times larger than what's recommended for a serving size. So eat half and take the other half home. And broth soups are good, vegetable soups, soups this time of year, wedding soup. I love soups, so the broth-based soups are a good choice. Snack only when hungry. Again, we talked about hunger and eating when we're hungry, stopping when we're satisfied. If we always did that, our weight would probably be right where it should be. So pick nature's fast food, which comes conveniently packaged, sized, and ready to go, such as carrots and snap peas and apples, bananas, pears, peaches. The bars, there are a few bars that are, again, you have to read the ingredients on the bars, but Kashi bars, Lara bars, Kind bars, and RX bars are better choices. And those are for carbohydrate. They do have some of them have some protein in them. Most of them are kind of more fruit based. Nuts and seeds and plain yogurt. Snacks that we think are good. I mean, regular Greek yogurt, unless you get a plain Greek yogurt, you can get as much as 20 grams of sugar. So the amount of sugar, and put that on next time. I apologize. I don't want to go over here. Okay, that's okay. The amount of sugar basically is there's no guideline on how much sugar we should have every day, and there's no FDA thing like the sugar requirement, because we actually, if we eat a normal healthy diet with the fruits, the vegetables, all the right kind of food and balance, we actually don't need any sugar added to our diet. But because we Americans have so much sugar and our processed foods already have so much sugar in them, they did guideline that sugar, like 4 grams is 1 teaspoon, and women should have no more than 6 teaspoons or 24 grams of sugar per day. So they did set limits because just to give us a guideline of that we may be going way over too much, and men 9. So 9 times 4 is 36. Is 4? I don't know. I'm like nervous, so I can't think. Granola bars, watch out for the sugar. So women should have no more than 6 teaspoons. Men should have no more than 9 teaspoons of added sugar a day. Okay, this is added sugar. We're not counting the sugar in your apple. So it's just an added sugars. Speaking of apples, it's been very interesting that the Honey Crisp is like the most popular, most expensive apple out there right now. And our apples are kind of being engineered to be making them sweeter, because us Americans, we like them sweeter. We like it sweeter. We like more sweet. Just think about that and how we are actually getting, much more sugar than we used to. Again, don't worry so much about the fruits and vegetables, but the added sugar in our processed foods. Okay, women 6 teaspoons, men 9 teaspoons, and 4 grams is 1 teaspoon. Pretzels. The cardboard has the same nutrition. You like that? That was added by the dietitian. Prepackaged peanut butter or cheese crackers, not so good. Those Lance crackers, not good, not healthy. They have the trans fats or the hydrogenated oils in them, which is not so good for our hearts or our cholesterol. Goldfish, boy, aren't they a popular treat right now? Cheez-Its, those 100-calorie snacks, really very low. They're promoted because they're low calorie, but what do? They do not satisfy us to where shortly after we eat that, we're craving something else. Fruit snacks, not so good again. And the Lunchables or the Uncrustables, not so healthy either. I know those are convenient, and lots of folks are looking at those for kids, but a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, whole grain bread, some natural peanut butter, some strawberry preserves, not an unhealthy food at all. Uncrustables, filled with sugar, filled with the hydrogenated oils, not so healthy. Very tasty, but not so healthy. during that lunch break, think of lunch or midday a great time to move, especially if you have a sedentary job. You use half of your time to eat and the other half to go for a walk or to be active. This is going to help circulation, make you feel more alert, relieve stress, clear that mind, helps clear out the cortisol or the stress hormones that have accumulated through the day, helps you feel better and burns some extra calories. Think about starting to connect that, add that habit. I have lunch and I have activity, or I have activity and then I eat my lunch. So, in conclusion, proper nutrition promotes good health, of course, and it helps prevent chronic disease. A healthy lunch can help keep you and your family functioning at your best and all throughout the day, avoiding that energy slump. You know, a big lunch with I think we probably all experienced this, how a big meal can make us then feel sluggish, especially if we are packing that meal with a lot of processed foods, or it's very high in carbohydrates. You can feel that processed carbohydrates, I should say, you can feel that after lunch slump. So if you tend to get that afternoon slump, take a look at a couple things. One, are you getting the right balance for your lunch? And are you drinking enough water? And that can keep your energy up through the day. There's a lot of fun and things we can do to get done in the afternoon, and we want to be energized and ready for it. This is great to think about for your kids at school too. Take a look at those lunches, and make sure that they're well balanced, so kids have that opportunity to keep their energy up through the day.